Hey, good morning, people. And I mean good morning. It's only 8:48. Oh my goodness. I'm normally just been in bed for a couple hours by now. Taking a couple of days off. Hey, this is going to be an extra edition of the Asphalt DJ. Took a couple of days off. It's been a stressful couple of weeks. Got to take my wife out on a date last night. Drove to E-Town. If that doesn't speak love to her, man, I don't know what does, because she knows how much I hate driving to E-Town. I just, E-Town's only about, say, 40 minutes from the house, and I'd rather drive the 100 miles to go to Lexington. It's just a long, drawn, it's like driving through Kansas and Missouri. It's just straight, flat ground with nothing to look at. And you never know when a deer is going to jump out and just ruin your day. So we went over there last night and ate at a place I think it was called JR Neighbors burger joint. It was pretty good. It's a little overpriced. Food wasn't like great, but it wasn't bad. Got me an elk burger, and she got her a nice little hamburger. So it was good. And then we went to the movies there at Crown Point and watched The Hill. Good Christian movie with good moral values based on a true story. And if you're anywhere close to near to me, you know that when a movie starts out and you see that sentence based upon a true story on the screen, that makes this guy a happy man. So we got to do that yesterday, and we're going to spend some time together tonight. I'm on my way to Boone's Butcher Shop over in Bardstown, Kentucky. Wanted to get me a Packer brisket. I've never done an overnight smoke, so I'm going to try a little bit of an overnight smoke, so I'll let you know how it goes. I'm really starting to get this brisket thing down. My bark is coming out really good on it. The last brisket I bought from Kroger. I think it was a select. They didn't have anything else. And I don't care how much you smoke a select brisket flat, you can only get it so tender. It's just not really a good thing of meat. So I'm hoping to get me a prime or a choice brisket today over at Boone's. So really been studying Habakkuk, trying to study. I've got a busy schedule. I've got to spend probably a couple hours reading and studying. If you don't know anything about Habakkuk, Habakkuk was a minor prophet that was crying out. He actually has a conversation. The book of Habakkuk is a conversation between him and God. And he's asking God, why is God rising up an evil, unrighteous people against his chosen people, Israel? And I mean, it's real easy for us today to relate to that, because, bad things happen to good people all the time. And it's hard for people to wrap their mind around the fact that God will use evil people for his bidding, and still be a loving God. What we fail to realize is we're judging things by the way we see it, but we're not holy and pure. God is. And that makes things difficult for our minds to wrap around. God opened up the earth and swallowed the Israelites because they was disobeying him. He was a disobedient bunch. So being a Christian is not about having an easy life. I mean, Christ tells us in the Gospels that if you're going to follow him, take up your cross. And when you follow him, know that the cross was a way of execution. It wasn't this nice little jewelry that we wear around our neck. It was a way people were put to death. So it'd be like somebody say, hey, take up the electric chair. Hey, take up that ejection needle for lethal injection and follow me. And what he's trying to tell you to do is, he's trying to tell you that it's a life. It's not about just being a part of. It's about being committed to it. And, I was putting together a sermon. I felt like that's what God wanted me to do on Habakkuk. man, he woke me up several mornings now, and I'm in the Gospel of Mark, and he gave me, man, I mean, I'm done. All I got to do is put it down. The whole sermon given to me this morning, side stories, everything. I sit there and laid in the bed from about 4 o'clock on to the wife's alarm went off to get up around 6, and so I'm not going to say where I'm going to preach at, because I don't know if he actually wants it known that he's asked me to. I don't know when I'm preaching. It's going to be somewhere around the Lexington, Georgetown area. I hope you can come and visit and sit in on that when I do get that opportunity. It's a buddies of mine's church. I had mentioned that I was going to go visit him and bring my bride with him so he could meet her for the first time. And he said, hey, when you come, I'll just have you preach. So we haven't nailed down all the details yet, but as soon as I know something for certain, I'll share it with y'all on here. But man, God's just shaking me up here lately. I mean, I've got a lot on my heart that I'm praying about. I've got a church that I got to preach at a couple times. I'm praying for them. They're searching for a pastor. I'm praying to God what his will is in my life. And being me and Dee Dee together, what he wants from us. And, you know, he's showing us a lot of stuff. And so we're just going to follow whatever it is that God tells us to do and whatever opportunities comes our way. So what I wanted to do is I'm driving, I just wanted to encourage you today. You know, be somebody that the last DJ I did was be who you say you are. All right. Today I'm going to tell you, be somebody real. Be authentic. I was walking out of work the other night, and one of the young ladies, it's a team member there at Toyota in my section that I have the privilege to be a manager, and we work together. I mean, she does the work. I'm there to, you know, help coach and develop. She told me, I mean, she blessed me. She encouraged me. She let me know that she feels that I'm genuine and that I truly care about people, and I walk around and thank them for doing their job. I don't forget what that was like when I was a team member. When the Japanese would walk out on the floor before a holiday like Christmas and shake my hand and tell me to have a good Christmas and a good holiday and how much it meant to me. And I thought about in my life how when I was a teenager and I'd do something for my mother and my mother would brag on me. So I've always been a person that's wanted to encourage those. So I try to walk through and talk to every team member at least once a week, tell them how much I appreciate what they've given to me, what they mean not only to me but to Toyota, how they sacrifice being on second shift and being away from their families. I know it's difficult, but I thank them for that. I try to be there. There's been many team members that have graced my office with problems. We've got to discuss them. We've got to sit down. I mean, to tears. We both have cried, but just to be able to pray over them as they're going through difficult life things. Man, I got one of the best jobs in the world. Toyota pays me to manage a section, and I've got good people that work around me. And all I'm trying to do is develop them in the systems that Toyota developed me in, to where they'll stand on their own both their feet one day and teach somebody else. So, and Toyota pays me for that. It's a blessing. I'm being stretched and learn. I mean, man, trying to learn this engine assembly stuff, it's taxing. It's a little stressful sometimes, but man, it's all about the people, the team members, the support groups. So that's what I want you to do today. When you're out and about, thank somebody. If you're at home and your spouse, I'm gonna say your spouse. I don't want to say your husband. I don't want to say your spouse. If your spouse does something for you, don't take them for granted. Whoever does the laundry, that's not their job. Thank them for washing your clothes. Everybody brings something to the table, okay? Some people are an encourager. And my heart just breaks it. I hear people talk and I see things at work that I feel that if people just told people gratitude and how they really felt about things that they just took for granted, that we wouldn't have all the people hurting today. So, guys, I want you to have a great Labor Day. I'm heading to Boone's. Gonna get me I hope I can get a prime brisket, Packer brisket. I'm really wanting to do an overnight smoke. I ain't never done one. I'm really starting to figure this pellet grill out. I'm starting to get some good bark on my brisket, and see who I can bless with some food this weekend. So have a great weekend, guys. Peace out.